Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our dog-loving viewers, Pause and Effect. Thanks for the suggestion, Pause. You asked, why do dogs kick their feet when getting belly rubs? If you've ever given your pup a belly rub and suddenly found yourself in the danger zone of flying paws, you're not alone. But what's actually happening here? Are they enjoying it? Is it some kind of weird reflex? Or are they secretly training for a kickboxing championship? Well, today, we're breaking down the science behind the belly rub kick, why it happens, what it means, and whether your dog is actually enjoying it. So, if you've ever been caught in the crossfire of an enthusiastic pup's rapid-fire kicks, stick around. Let's get into it, right here on Explaining Everything. First things first, your dog is not auditioning for Dancing with the Stars, Canine Edition. That adorable leg twitch is actually an involuntary reaction known as the scratch reflex. Basically, your dog's body reacting like a self-defense system it didn't even know it had. See, when you scratch a certain spot on a dog's belly, you're stimulating nerves under the skin that send a message straight to the spinal cord. The spinal cord, being a bit of an overachiever, sends back a quick response to the leg before the brain even gets involved. This is why your dog doesn't decide to kick. It just happens. It's like when the doctor taps your knee with that tiny hammer and your leg suddenly goes rogue. Now, while your dog's kick isn't as useful as, say, a kangaroo's, because let's be honest, a pug isn't winning any fights, it does serve a purpose. Dogs didn't always have the cushy life of sleeping on our couches and stealing our snacks. Way back in the wild, their ancestors had to deal with an annoying issue: parasites. Fleas, ticks, and other creepy crawlies loved to set up camp in their fur, and these pests weren't exactly paying rent. So, nature, being the genius it is, developed the scratch reflex to help dogs get rid of these tiny freeloaders before they could cause infections. When something irritates a nerve-heavy spot, like the belly or sides, the body sends a signal to kick like crazy, in the hopes of shaking off the offender. So in a way, your belly rubs are triggering your dog's built-in anti-bug system. Congratulations! You are officially a living, breathing flea comb. Now, some of you might be thinking, wait, my dog doesn't do this. Does that mean they're broken? Not at all. Not all dogs react the same way to belly rubs. Some might have a more sensitive scratch reflex, while others might just not care. It also depends on where you scratch. Some dogs have hot spots on their belly, some on their ribs, and some have no interest in the whole thing at all. These are the same dogs that look at you like you're an embarrassment when you try to play fetch. If your dog does have a strong scratch reflex, though, it's a great way to find their favorite tickle spots. Just make sure they actually enjoy it. If they look uncomfortable or start moving away, it might be too much. Remember, belly rubs are a privilege, not a right. Here's where things get weird. Some dogs actually seem to love the feeling of their own involuntary kicking. Ever notice how some pups will stretch out, look blissed out, and practically beg you to keep scratching? It's like they enjoy their own reaction. This might be because the nerve stimulation feels good similar to how some people enjoy a good back scratch or a foot rub. Or maybe dogs just enjoy freaking us out by making their leg go full speed while giving us that "I have no control over this" look. Either way, it's adorable. Now, while the belly rub kick is completely normal, excessive kicking, especially when your dog isn't getting scratched, can be a sign of skin irritation, allergies, or even a neurological issue. If your pup is constantly scratching or twitching, it might be time for a vet visit. Also, if your dog is the type that gets too enthusiastic and accidentally kicks you in the face while you're down at their level, well, consider that a personal risk you signed up for when you adopted them. So, why do dogs kick their feet when getting belly rubs? Simple. It's a built-in reflex left over from their wild ancestors, designed to protect them from pesky bugs and irritants. Back in the day, this instinct helped them shake off fleas, ticks, and other unwanted visitors before they could become a bigger problem. But for today's pampered pooches, who spend more time lounging on cozy beds than surviving in the wild, it's mostly just a quirky, hilarious reaction that makes belly rub time even more entertaining. The real takeaway? If your dog starts kicking, you've officially found their magic button, the ultimate sweet spot that triggers an automatic, happy little leg dance. And next time you see your pup flailing their legs mid-belly rub, just remember, they're not trying to kick you. But if they ever decide to, they now know exactly how to land a solid one. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new about your beloved puppas, why not give it a well-deserved belly rub? And don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.